Doug and Skeeter are preparing for BB's costume party. They are aspiring to dress up like the Beats band members. Skeeter already got his costume on deck, and he ready to get turned up at this costume party. It's recess time, and Doug finds Skeeter on the bench looking blue. Tells the news that he will not be going to BB's costume party. And Doug is like, man, why not? We got the costumes ready to go. Skeeter's like, I know, bro, but we are moving. Doug is flipping out, like, why are you moving, bro?
Bro, I just got here. You can't leave, bro.
Skeeter could not provide Doug a real explanation other than, yo, my dad just told me I got 1 day to pack my things. Having only 1 day to pack is crazy. Doug starts to reminisce over all the things Skeeter was there for him. He goes back and remembers him helping him get food for his parents when they arrived in Bluffington. He also remembers when Skeeter helped him gain some confidence in going to the dance with Patty, even at his own expense of being folded like an Auntie Anne's pretzel. Lastly, he remembers meeting the Beats in person with Skeeter and Porkchop, right after getting left behind by the buses to go to the concert. Doug does not know what to do or how to help Skeeter, so he tries to imagine what would Quail Man do in this situation if his best friend was moving. And of course, Quail Man having powers, he will use his signature Quail Eye, which is basically a Renegon, and put him under a Genjutsu to convince him to stay in Bluffington. He also imagines what his other character, Smash Adams, would do in the situation. And Smash Adams will basically threaten the movers. Hey, if you keep moving this furniture, bad things can happen to you, bro. So if you don't want these hands, take everything out the truck pronto, immediately, expeditiously. Then thinks about what he would do, imagining himself pathetically trying to stop a moving vehicle. Skeeter has an idea. He has an idea that won't have him leave Bluffington. He tells, don't even worry about it. We got this. His room opens up his closet door to see Skeeter there with Porkchop eating pizza and playing cards. Doug is immediately shook and tries to rush his mom out of his room. And anything right now, like, fam, I need to get started on my homework immediately. Doug, of course, runs back to the closet and sees Skeeter and say, what you doing in here, bro? It's like, fam,
I'm living with you now. So Doug like, okay, cool. So now we just gonna rock out all night.
Skeeter and Doug decides to go to the Honker Burger to get some milkshakes. Skeeter is in this pitiful disguise, thinking no one will notice him, that no one can tell. And Roger spots him immediately. Fam, you stick out even more. You look nuts right now. Then when you find out his dad is in the Honker Burger, he immediately shoves Skeeter under the dining table. Skeeter's pops immediately sees Doug and wants to know, hey, have you seen my son? Have you seen my son Skeeter? And Roger, like, playing along and acting like he didn't see Skeeter. Just trying to keep the heat on Doug, because Doug knows exactly where he is. Express the fact that his mom made his favorite dessert. He can't remember what it's called because he be stuttering a lot. So Skeeter interjects and says a banana split cake, almost giving himself away. Roger continues to toy around with Skeeter's dad, trying to give him hints of where he might be, and bites Roger's leg. My boy Roger was not expecting that. After leaving the Honker Burger, Doug starts to have second thoughts. He's thinking how worried his family would be with him not being home. His dad is worried sick about him. Doug comes to the realization that Skeeter may need to go home. So he says, man, it may be best if you just go home. And Skeeter's like, fam, why not, bro? You don't want to live with me, bro? I can't live with you? Doug is like, nah, bro, it ain't even like that, man. You may be better off where you're going right now.
And besides, bro, I will even come to visit you, bro. You the homie.
That made Skeeter feel better about the situation and decided to give Doug one of his lucky pennies. Doug is very grateful for this lucky penny, and he doesn't have nothing lucky of his own. But he said, "Man, I got this comb that I sometimes use, bro. You can have this." And Skeeter's like, "Bro, this comb was unbreakable, bro. Just like our friendship." Doug suggests Skeeter go home right away, and Skeeter, requests Doug to come see him before he actually leaves. The next day, Doug wakes up early to go to Skeeter's house, and he sees Skeeter's car already gone. They dipped, bro. Sorry, bro, you can't get your goodbyes in. So he's all distraught, running into the sunset, looking goofy, bro. So he goes and sits on the stoop. He sits on Skeeter's stoop, man, and he's sick about this right now. But Skeeter just pops out of nowhere and says, "Bro, we didn't leave. I'm right here." Doug immediately gets up and gasps, and he has to grab Skeeter to make sure that he is not hallucinating. And wants answers like, "Bro, why aren't you gone? I thought you were moving." He said, "Bro,
I was moving, but they just moved me downstairs to the basement, bro. They just hooked my little pad up down here. So now we can still go to the costume party, and we can still go to high school together."
Finally made it to BB's costume party. Everybody's chilling, everybody's dancing, getting a two-step on. And why is my man right there in a fire hydrant costume? That is ridiculous. Moral of the story: value your friendships as much as possible. Value the moments you have together, because you never know when it's going to end.